Now today we're going to be frying up some chicken. Now what we're going to do with these chicken pieces is double dip them in this really delicious coating. And when you fry it up and you bite into it, it's crunchy and it is finger licking good. Now just to go through the ingredients, I've got it all laid out, all measured out, ready to go. Now with me herbs and spices on this plate, I use these little measuring spoons to measure out the right amount. They're quite cheap and very useful, especially when you're measuring out things like spices. Now this one's a teaspoon, that's half a teaspoon, and that's a quarter of a teaspoon. Now what I'm going to use is 2 heaped teaspoons of mixed herbs. Now the mixed herbs I've got are a mixture of sage, marjoram, oregano, basil, thyme and parsley. So nice mixture of mixed herbs there. 2 teaspoons of onion granules or onion powder. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1 teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Half a teaspoon of ground ginger. Half a teaspoon of mustard powder and a quarter of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now all those herbs and spices are going to be mixed in a bowl with 60 grams of instant mashed potato powder. That's going to give it the crunch. And then 150 grams of plain flour. So all those dry ingredients mixed up in a bowl, and that's your coating. We've got 2 eggs, again separate bowl, crack those, beat them and add 60 millilitres of water. And then with the chicken pieces I've got in the background here, I've got 8 chicken drumsticks. You could use thighs, or if you've got a smallish chicken, maybe get your butcher to chop it into pieces so you can go and fry. The main thing is, if you're using a whole chicken and it's chopped down, trying to get the pieces chopped down fairly small. You don't want them too big, otherwise the meat won't cook so well inside, and what happens is the coating goes really dark and burns eventually. So I'm going to use chicken drumsticks. Now what I'm going to do with those is just to put some slits with a knife, you know, in the deepest part of the meat, and that will help to cook them all the way through. In terms of weight, the amount of chicken I've got is 1 kilogram. So there's all the ingredients. Now what I'm going to start off with is get myself a bowl, mix the dry ingredients, and that's your sort of coating. Crack the eggs in the bowl, mix it with the water, and then we're going to prepare the chicken. Season it, make the cut in there, and that's ready to dip in that lovely coating, ready to be fried. So let's just get a bowl, and what we'll do is we'll start off making up the dry mixture first. So I've got myself a bowl, just going to put the flour in there. And then we've got that instant mashed potato and all those herbs and spices. Now we'll just give those a quick mix. That's it. That's ready to go. Now I'm going to get a bowl and just, you know, whisk up the eggs, add the water. So I'm just going to whisk the eggs. So now I've whisked those, just tip in the water. Again, give it another quick mix. And there you go. So we've now got the coating and the egg ready to go. So now we're going to prepare the chicken. Now with the chicken drumsticks, just going to grab those, find the meaty bit, and then you can just make a couple of little slits like that, and that will just help to make it cook a little bit more evenly. So I'll do that with all the rest. Now with the chicken drumsticks, I am going to season these separately. I know we've got some in the sort of coating, but I just want to do a little bit on the meat itself. So a little bit of freshly ground black pepper and some salt. That's it. Now what I'm going to do is just grab those and just try and rub it a little bit into it. That's it. I'll do that with all the rest. So now we've got it all prepared there. Now what I'm going to do is grab a piece of chicken, and we're just going to dip that and roll it in the flour. Get a good coating. And let it drip off a little bit. And then we're going to dip it into that dry mixture of herbs and spices. And then we can just pop that on a plate there and leave that. And I'll do that with all the rest. Now I'm just doing my last one there. Getting into the egg. Get it well coated. Drain it off a little bit. And then straight into that mixture. Turn it over, roll it round. And then shake it off. So we've got some of the coating left and we've got some of the egg, because in a moment we're going to have to redo it again. Now what I'm going to do is leave those pieces of chicken probably for about 15-20 minutes, and then we'll come and repeat the process again. So I've left the chicken on the plate for about 20 minutes, so that's the first coating. So we're now going to repeat it and get a second coating on there. So if I just grab one, and we just pop that in the egg. That's it. Turn it over, get it again well coated, and then we can go into the coating. Roll that round. That's it. And then I'm going to just put that on a plate and then carry on with the rest of them. So I've left my chicken with that second coating for 20 minutes, so now we can get on with the cooking. Now I've got myself a frying pan, and what I'm going to do is start off with some oil. Now I'm going to use vegetable oil as the main one, because that hasn't really got a flavour. Now I'm just going to put a good glug of that. That's it. And also I'm going to use some toasted sesame oil, really nice. Now as an alternative, if you want to use another oil, you could use canola oil. Otherwise, use whatever you like. Now with a toasted sesame oil, don't put too much in there, just to give it a bit of flavour. Because the vegetable oil hasn't really got a lot of flavour, if any. The toasted sesame oil will just make it really taste delicious. Now I'm going to switch the hob on. Now really what we want to do is put this on about a moderate heat, I would say. So not too high. I mean really, if you've got a temperature gauge, you know, something to measure the temperature of the oil, usually around about 165 degrees Celsius to 180 degrees Celsius is good. So I'm just going to let the oil warm up a little bit, and then we can put the chicken in there. So I've left the oil come up to temperature, that's fairly hot, so I'm going to put in the piece of chicken. Now let's just pop those in. Now I'm not going to overcrowd the pan, so let's see how we do. I think I'm going to go for just a 3. Now with the chicken, what you want to do is probably cook for around about 12 minutes in total, and I'd say every 3 minutes turn the chicken over, try and build up the colour all the way round, and if you find that the temperature's a little bit low, obviously turn it up. If it's too high, definitely turn it down. Now I've had the chicken cooking for just over 12 minutes, so I think it's time to pull these out. That certainly looks delicious. Be gentle with them. Now I'm actually going to put those onto a wire rack. Got a little wire rack here, just on a plate. Just let those drain off a little bit. That's it. Now I'm going to leave those to cool down just slightly. Now whilst I'm doing that, I might as well get on with some of the rest of the chicken. Now again, I've left these in total about 12 minutes, just over. Place them on the wire rack, and then I'm going to take them over the table, and one of the ones that have cooled down, I'm going to go and try it. I've just brought those pieces of chicken over. Look at that, they look absolutely scrummy. Now which one's the cooler one? These are the cooler ones. Now let me try one of those. I think this one is going to be really nice because it's got that beautiful coating on it. Look at it, lovely. Let me just try this. The coating, nice and crunchy. It's really well cooked inside. It's so flavoursome. These are delicious. Let me have another bite. Oh yeah. So good. It really brings to life your chicken. Absolutely delicious. So many good flavours in it. You've got to go and make these. Thanks for watching my videos as always. If you haven't subscribed yet and you like what I do, don't forget to subscribe, and I always really appreciate the comments and all the ratings for the video. See you on the next one. The original Naked Chef. Last bite. Oh, beautiful.